everyone, welcome back. I'm super excited for today's video because I have two new makeup products to show you guys. Tarte's new Shape Tape Glow Blush Bars. I love Tarte as a brand. It's a really nice, fun brand. They have good products. I loved their face palette, which I had a few years ago, so I am excited to try out these new face palettes. One is supposed to be for lighter skin and the other is supposed to be for darker skin. I'm somewhere in the middle, so I got both of them. And let's see if both of them work out for me. So they're $49 each and you get 3 cheek products, which is not a bad price considering there are blushes that are easily at least $20 each. Looks really nice and luxurious. Closer look at the pans. The pans themselves remind me a little bit of Hourglass Ambient palettes. This is plastic. This is super shiny, so you will get fingerprints on it. I can't wait, so let's get started. I'm going to start with this middle blush here. Obviously, they are supposed to be, wow, that is super glowy. Let me bring you guys closer. Definitely instant glow. Let's see what happens if we build this one up a little bit. I know sometimes shimmery blushes, when you try to build them up, they just become more and more shimmery and golden or whatever the sparkle color is, but they don't necessarily get darker in color. You could, seems like you could build up the color to some level. It's building up nicely. It's not looking bad as you build it up. I like it. It looks pretty nice and even. It's not super glittery, but you can definitely see that glitter in it, but it is a very small glitter. And it's not super golden glitter. I'm not sure how to describe this color. Maybe like a light golden color. It's not orangey, which I really like. I like it. Super curious about this one because this one looks less shimmery. So let's see how it looks. Oh wow, it's pigmented. So even though this is supposed to be the lighter one, this blush is pretty pigmented. And it is a slightly more matte feeling than the other one. Maybe also a bit more powdery. This one definitely feels a little bit more matte looking than this one. Now let's try to build it up. Here, you guys might hear a little bit of a background noise with my younger daughter. We are getting ready to leave for vacation today, but I had to squeeze this video in before we leave. I really like the color. I'm trying to build it up more to see how much pigment can I get. So you can go lighter or you can build it up. And I like that this one is not as shimmery, glowy as this side, so I do have a little bit more variety. I didn't want the whole thing to be very, very glowy. Now let's try out this highlighter. Ooh, pretty. Very nice. It reminds me a little bit of the Rare Beauty highlighter. It's very nice and smooth. Maybe not as blinding as the Rare Beauty ones, which can be a good thing. You know, maybe you don't want a blinding highlight. I think this is a nice medium highlighter. It is definitely noticeable, but it's not super blinding. I like it. I think the highlighter is called Champagne Glow. This side is Luminous Rosy Peach, so it's definitely luminous. And this side is Luminous Rose, but it's not super luminous. The luminosity is subtle. Whereas this one, the luminosity is pretty noticeable. Very nice. Now let me put some foundation on, clean this off, put foundation on, and let's try out the other one. I'm excited to try out the other one because I feel like this can work as a bronzer for me. Very nicely pigmented. Okay, let's clean this up. Okay, as a bronzer, it could work, but I feel like it's too dark. But I think if you use a light hand, could possibly work. I don't know if you can see if the camera's picking it up, but I think this color is working out well as a bronzer. The only thing that I get scared of with using a blush as a bronzer is sometimes the undertone might be too red, but I'm not seeing that. So, and this one is not like luminous, shimmery, so that's good. What is this one called? Bronze Glow. But I'm not seeing super shimmers in here, although looking at the pan I can see that there are like micro glitters in there, but on the skin I'm not seeing too much. If I look really closely, I could see the micro glitter particles on my forehead, but it's not like my forehead is looking very glittery or shimmery. So I think this can definitely work as a bronzer. I'm a little scared. This color is beautiful, but it's also super pigmented. I'm gonna try to do light hand. Actually, this reminds me of one of the Patrick Ta blushes. Seems like I could use a light hand and get a little bit of color. It's not super pigmented with a light hand. Now let's see how much this one builds up. Luminosity wise, you can definitely see slight shimmery particles, but it's not overly golden or anything. It's just a really nice subtle luminosity. Okay, with powder on, it's still pretty pigmented. So if you have a lighter skin tone, you definitely do want to use a very light hand with this one. But it's a really pretty shade for spring. Now let's try out this really beautiful color over here. This one is called Luminous Berry. This brush is not my favorite blush brush. It's a little too dense. I'm scared to use it, but ooh, love this shade. Really pretty, but it's also super pigmented. And this is not a good brush that I'm using for this, but ooh, this reminds me of the Dior, one of the Dior shades. I like this one because this one is not as densely packed. It has the perfect amount of fluffiness to it. It's a really nice shade. And this one is not, both of them, I mean, well, I put powder on this one, so this one doesn't even look luminous anymore after I put powder on it. Yeah, this one is not as luminous as the middle one. So if you are afraid that these blushes are going to be way too shimmery, glittery looking, that's not the case. Very pigment. That's a lot of pigment. Put some powder over it. Alright, so here is the berry one. And here is the Luminous Strawberry. Alright, so my final thoughts on these Tarte Shape Tape Glow Blush Bars is they are pretty nice. Definitely one is more pigmented than the other. I think I can use both if I just use a lighter hand with the more pigmented blushes. The first one also had one blush that was pretty pigmented. I think it was this one here. They're not super luminous, so if you are afraid of it being a little too shimmery or glittery, that is not the case at all. Even the highlighter is not super blinding. Overall, I think they're really nice, but at the same time, are they the most beautiful curated formula ever? I don't think so. But I feel like most of the blushes that I have in my collection are not the most curated, beautiful formulas, but they're still nice. There's nothing wrong with the formula. It applies nicely, as you saw. My favorite formula that I've really enjoyed, I think it was like a palette from MAC and NARS. The MAC blush formula and the NARS blush formulas are really nice. Everything else is pretty, but it's not like the most beautiful, soft, silky as the NARS and the MAC ones that I've tried in the past. But I still like it. If you can get it on a sale, I think that would be better than paying full price. But still, full price, $49 for 3 cheap products is not super bad compared to other blushes that you would pay $20 per blush or $20, $25. So that could come up to be like $75 for 3 cheap products, whereas this one you're getting for $49. But I think trying to get these on a discount would be amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. This was a little bit more refreshing for me compared to the last video where I was talking about life after divorce. So divorce is a heavy topic. This was light, easy. I enjoyed filming for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. I will leave the links for these down below in case you want to get them right now. And they will be affiliate links, so I will make a small commission from them. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.